Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. And wow, look at that price on Palantir, over $100 per share. Congratulations to any long-term holders on Palantir, as this is a pretty historic moment for the stock, as we are at an all-time high, and this is the first time we've seen the stock trade above $100. So I'm going to be talking all about the technical and fundamental analysis on Palantir. But before I do that, I want to say, as always, that this is not financial advice, and I always recommend doing your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. But yeah, looking at the stock right now, the stock is trailing 20% plus in the after hours, and this is off of their Q4 earnings. They had a pretty positive report, and so the stock is seeing some positive price momentum from that. And the positive report that came out is that Wall Street analysts were expecting an earnings per share of 11 cents. Palantir beat that, and they hit 14 cents for their earnings per share, and they also beat revenue expectations. So the revenue expectation was at 776 million. They absolutely blew that out of the water at 828 million. So some pretty positive numbers from Palantir, and that has been our long-term analysis on Palantir. We expected them to do great in these Q4 earnings, as we've talked about in the last year, with all their government contracts and their intro into the NASDAQ 100, that this play was going to be gaining a lot more value. When we look at their earnings history here, we could see that they are on a straight upwards motion. So each and every single quarter earnings they are beating those expectations, and 2024 came out very positive. So this was a great earnings report, as well as all the others through the year. And so now fundamentally, when we do look at Palantir, what is even more positive about this is that they are continuing the momentum they had in 2023. So up until 2023, they were losing money. So their revenue wasn't always the best, and then their earnings per share was in the negative. In 2023, they flipped that, and now when this number is updated here for 2024, it will also be in the positive. So those are two straight consecutive years of Palantir earning money and having a positive earnings per share. These earnings also come at the same time that all the tariffs were being talked about. So over the weekend, there was a lot of fear with Trump and the tariffs he was imposing on Mexico and Canada. Well, fear no more, as those tariffs have already came off. So Mexico, Canada, and Trump, USA, have all came up with a deal, and now there's just going to be more border security. So all the fear everyone had about avocados rising, inflation rising, all these tariffs, 25% here, 25% there, they are all off the table, and it looked like it was just a negotiating tool for Trump to get more security at the border, and that is what is happening there. And if you don't know what Palantir is, they're an AI defense company, and they work alongside the government. So this is an article from 12/18 of 2024, and that is where they expanded their partnership with the U.S. Army with a $618 million contract. And so the reason why I bring this up is because the value in Palantir is very long term. These contracts will be paid out over time, and the government is relying heavily on Palantir for their AI and defense contracts. I bring this up because a lot of bears will point out to this when it comes to Palantir and say that this is not a reason to buy, because they have a really high price to earnings ratio. So the price to earnings ratio is sitting at 424. If you don't know about price to earnings ratio, typically the lower number the better. So you're usually looking for around 20 to 25. And so being at 400, this seems pretty high up there. But what the bears will miss if they just look at that one metric is that there is so much value behind Palantir, and the stock price is just moving quicker than the actual the momentum is moving quicker than the price has to catch up. So the price is still catching up to what investors are expecting. So I do see this play rising even more as the years go on. And Palantir is definitely not a play I would fade. Talking about the bears, this is one of my first videos I ever made on Palantir. This was from 3 months ago when the stock was at just $43. And this commenter here was complaining about the price to earnings at that point. He was saying that the price to earnings is at 255, and that is way too high. He says he would subscribe to my channel if I was more realistic. And I was talking about Palantir in a very bullish sense in that video. He was saying that I wasn't being realistic with my expectations and that the price to earnings was too high, and that was what was going to drop the stock. Well, I bet he wished he would have subscribed now, as had he did and had he followed that advice, he would be up more than 2x on that investment. Another defense contract that also uses AI, another defense AI stock out there that I've also talked a lot about on this channel, and I would suggest as an investor, anyone to look into this play. This is a stock and a company that Palantir works alongside, and that is Big Bear AI. They are also doing a lot with AI and government. So if you feel you have missed the boat on Palantir, you still have a good opportunity with Big Bear AI. But overall, the sector, when it comes to defense and AI, Palantir really dominates that. And as we continue to go throughout the years, there was just that $500 billion investment into AI with Stargate and all that. AI, the government, all that. It's only continuing to grow. So Trump is very pro-defense, very pro-military. And I mean, we're even seeing that with the border, all the protections. So Palantir being so close with the government, being so close with the army, the military, all that, we should see the value only continue to grow in Palantir. And as we saw with this quarter, for earnings for 2024, it was very positive. So I'm very bullish on Palantir. What was crazy is in my last video talking about should you buy Palantir? Should you still buy Palantir in 2025? I was talking about this potentially being a $100 stock in 2025. I did not expect it to happen so quick. So that is some great news from Palantir. I am super happy as a Palantir investor, and I would love to hear what everyone else has to say about Palantir in the comments section below. If you're bullish, if you're holding Palantir, what your position is. So please drop that comment in the section below. Please leave a like and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.